This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And Cardinals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Beautiful Denver, Colorado, and Coors Field is the scene. It's game number 2, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Colorado Rockies. Game 1 saw a little bit of everything from Cardinals starter Carlos Martinez. Got the job done on the mound. He was hit by a pitch. He drove in a couple of runs. Put on the brakes, Carlos. While at second base, then he's driven in from Matt Carpenter and a base hit in right. Needed the oxygen. The Cardinals needed some relief. Martinez and the Redbirds hold on for an important 5-3 win. Jim Hayes is here. That's the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. The starters tonight, it's a couple of elder statesmen. Jorge De La Rosa, left-hander going for the Rockies, very good in his career here at home. And the Cardinals counter with Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, both of them are 35 years of age. Both of them been around a long, long time. They both had success against their opponents tonight, and something's got to give. We'll see who wins this one, as it's another important game for the Cardinals.
Adam Wainwright, Jorge De La Rosa. Jed Jerko, great numbers against this lefty. Meanwhile, on the other side, Charlie Blackmon, pretty good numbers against Wainwright. Cardinals and Rockies coming up. All these brought Major League Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. We'll keep an eye on this game. San Francisco and Los Angeles, game 2 of their 3-game series from Chavez Ravine. The Giants have lost 3 straight. The Cardinals, by the way, winners of 3 straight. They are tied with the Giants in the wild card race. Johnny Cueto goes tonight for San Francisco. That bullpen much maligned. 29 blown saves, most in Major League Baseball. Rich Hill gets the call for the Dodgers. It's the Giants, it's the Dodgers, it's the Cards and Rockies here from Coors Field. First pitch, starting lineups next. Budweiser, not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Nice night here in Denver, 84 degrees. Jim Hayes, Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you from Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's game number 2 here tonight. The Cardinals are tied with San Francisco in the wild card. They trail the Mets by a game. And the Mets have a 1-0 lead over Atlanta. That's in the 5th inning from Citi Field in New York. Colton Wong, there's a look at the Cardinals leadoff man here tonight, followed by Jed Jerko. And they will face Jorge De La Rosa. De La Rosa lost his last start against Arizona on Tuesday. He allowed 6 runs, 5 of those earned in just 3 1/3 innings of work. This is start number 100 of his career at Coors Field. All-time wins leader with 53, a free agent to be, and more than likely his final start ever here at home.
Yeah, it is his final start. They're in a 6-man rotation, but after this game, they'll go down to 5, and he'll probably, if he pitches again, he'll be out of the bullpen. Use the young kids.
There's a look at the Cardinals lineup. Matt Carpenter not at the top of that lineup. He is 0 for 12 with 5 strikeouts against De La Rosa, so Colton Wong gets the call. And the first pitch is taken for a ball, and we are underway here in game 2.
Both starters tonight, the veterans, 35 years of age, have had good success against their respective clubs.
And that is a base hit into right center field for Colton Wong. Takes the hard turn around first base. He'll stop there. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. David Dahl in left, Charlie Blackmon in center, and Cargo is in right. Nolan Arenado, Daniel Descalso on the left side for Walt Weiss's club. DJ LeMahieu, Gerardo Parra at first, and Tony Wolters is behind the plate.
Well, Weiss, his contract is up after this year, and not sure whether he'll be back or not. They're trying to push to get to 500.
Jericho on the first pitch, pops it up. LeMahieu puts it away for the out. Jed Jericho, great numbers, by the way, against De La Rosa in his career. Now it's Stephen Piscotty, who's hitting .272, 21 home runs. He has driven in 81. De La Rosa has been just remarkable here at Coors Field. 52-19.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Really is.
All-time wins leader for the Rockies. Strikeout leader. But they say right now his fastball is very, very hittable. Matter of fact, early in the season he refused to throw it, and they took him out of the rotation, put him in the bullpen. But of late, people are really beating up on the fastball.
A short lead at first by Colton Wong. Nice play by Wolters to keep it in front. Throw down to second is not in time. Just to make that close. Very nice job by the backstop of the Rockies.
Very good secondary lead for Colton Wong. He saw the ball in the dirt and he took off and makes it to second base. Good stop by young Tony Wolters, and looks like he's got a strong throwing arm.
So Wong is in scoring position. Piscotty, one of the best in baseball. His average near 400 with runners in scoring position. Huge gap in left center. Jim Joyce is the crew chief and the home plate umpire. Chad Fairchild at first, James Hoy at second, and Nick Lentz is down at third. When he calls a strike, believe me, you'll know. Very vocal behind the plate. And that gets away. So Wong advancing to third.
Another pitch in the dirt, and Wolters, it's a wild pitch. Not sure if they gave a wild pitch on the first one or not, which allowed Wong to go to second. They gave him a steal.
Infield drawn in. A changeup. He's out in front. Just to put in perspective what De La Rosa has done here at home. Since 1913, 284 pitchers have made 95 starts for a team at a single home park. For De La Rosa, he's done that. He has the fourth highest winning percentage in the history of baseball. That gets away, but Wong will stay at third.
De La Rosa does have it's a split finger he uses for his changeup, and he's throwing more curveballs. But right now, young Tony Wolters is having a tough time. A lot of balls being bounced. That one, the 58-footer. Good thing Wong didn't come down as the ball was running up the third baseline.
But think about that. Those numbers are impressive in its own right, but then to do it at this ballpark.
This ballpark, that's what I was thinking about, Danny, is, you know, a .732 win percentage in this ballpark.
3-2 pitch, and Piscotty strikes out. First strikeout for the left-hander of the Rockies.
It's his 200th career Rockies start, and there's that splitter.
Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball, the change, cutter, curve. As Al talked about, it's more of a splitter grip. Uses that more times than not, but as you said, the last month or so that has not been the case. He's been getting knocked around here. Moss is swing and a miss. Checks in with 27 home runs. That leads the Cardinals. Average is dipped to 236, and he's driven in 64.
And Dan, it's been home runs and walks that have really bothered him the last 3 outings. 4 home runs, 9 walks.
Moss with a high fly ball. Lifted out to right center. It'll be Blackmon who puts it away. No score. Wainwright took the loss in his last start against the Giants. That was on Thursday night. He allowed 4 runs on 9 hits in 5 2/3. You see the lefties, they're hitting .297 against him. And this could be a very tough test for Wainwright pitching at this ballpark, but a number of left-handers in the lineup for Walt Weiss's club. Doesn't look like he has the stirrups.
Nope, he's got the red socks with a stripe on it. So had to make adjustments after he lost his last start. That was in San Francisco. I agree with you, Danny. You look at some of the success these guys have had against him, all these left-hand hitters, and you'd think this would be a tough assignment, but he has been phenomenal against the Rockies in his career, and particularly here, 2-0 with a 1.85 ERA.
Overall, 6-0 against Colorado, and the ERA of 1.39. Charlie Blackmon leads it off, hitting .319, 27 home runs, and he is driven in 74.
Now, Wainwright did face the Rockies earlier this year in St. Louis and had a very good game. 6+ innings of shutout baseball.
The 2-0. 3-0. We have a member of our crew that has rejoined us here in Denver. Longtime producer of Cardinals baseball, Mike Helling. He had a setback earlier this summer. But Mike, great to have you back in the chair where you belong. We love you and we've missed you. 3-1 the count here on Blackmon. Wow, watch out. Oh boy. Watch out there.
I think it was an empty seat, hopefully.
Man. Tell you what, that is some kind of beer that Blackmon has going here in 2016. Could lose a sandwich in there, sunflower seeds. Wainwright's reaction.
Blackmon's had success, 600 average against Waino.
3-2 pitch, and he doesn't get the call. It's a leadoff walk. Cardinals defensively with Moss in left, Grichuk in center, and Piscotty is in right. Peralta, Jerko, Wong, and Adams on the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Here is the league leader in average. DJ LeMahieu is hitting .349. Daniel Murphy of Washington hitting .348.
And he's batting .111 against Bueno. Go figure. 1 for 9.
He's become, though, a different player here with the Rockies. We just didn't see this with Chicago. He was a spot player there. And now in Colorado, putting up big numbers.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago, you kind of really burst on the scenes as a defensive player. And you said, wow, this kid can play defense. He's won a Gold Glove since that time. And now his offense is matching his defense.
Carlos Gonzalez at the on-deck circle. And you look at LeMahieu, it's not the prototypical second baseman. He is a big guy. Cardinals really are a ground ball staff. That includes Adam Wainwright. And when right, you're thinking about ground balls, and in this spot, certainly thinking about the double play.
And Bueno is very good in that department, and tied for second in the National League with 27 double plays.
LeMahieu has reached base in 35 consecutive games. Lines it to Wong. And he makes the play.
He timed that perfect and got to the apex of his jump and hauled that one in. Just a solid ball out there, and look at Colton Wong's sky. Holds in.
Brings in Cargo, who has hit .292 in his career against the Cardinals, but yet they've held him in check. He's 0 for 15 against St. Louis this year.
And Waino's done a good job against him. Just a .214 hitter. So some of these lefties you would think that would have good numbers against him don't.
Gonzalez, the second longest tenured player on the Rockies roster, behind tonight's starter Jorge De La Rosa. He's got 25 home runs. They're the numbers against Adam. 6th season of 20+ homers. A short lead at first by Blackman. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball and a beauty.
Yeah, good one right there. A lot of times you find the breaking ball, the curveball doesn't break as well here at this altitude, but that was a good one. Gonzalez traded to the Rockies from the A's for Holiday, and we miss Holiday's bat today. He hits .412 against De La Rosa.
.0-2 pitch, and he struck him out. First strikeout for Adam Wainwright on the night.
Good pitch right there. You know, sells it in the strike zone, and then it breaks down off the plate.
Hyundai pitch arsenal: fastball, the cutter, the curve, and he'll mix in a change.
And we talked about De La Rosa having trouble with his fastball. Adams really having trouble with his fastball, so he really must spot it well. They are hitting it at a very high average.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. The foul tip. He catches Molina. He says he's all right. Nolan Arenado recently collected home run number 100 of his career. He's popped 38 this season. Youngest player in franchise history to do that at just under 25 years and 4 months. One other player has done that. Jimmy Fox Incredible. This guy is some kind of player.
Really is. And we were bragging about him defensively last night. He made a key error that helped the Cardinals to victory, but he also made at least 4 other defensive web gems.
You were questioning last night, well, how did he get to, at the time, 11 errors? So talking with some of those around the Rockies, said, how's this happen? They say he gets to balls that no one else gets to, so it opens up more opportunities for him to commit those errors.
But, you know, if you're an official scorer, you have to take into consideration, you know, what is the average third baseman? You know, you can't penalize him for great range and getting to balls.
The cutter misses outside. 38 homers, 124 RBIs to lead the senior circuit.
Andy, I was told by some people that if you got a cutter and you throw it well, you execute that pitch, you're going to have success against the Rockies. That's what he got. Gonzalez on the cutter. There was a good one right here to Arenado.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. You wonder if he stays away tonight from that curveball, which we showed you in the pitch arsenal. It's about 30% of the time. Now, you know, he'll show it here and there, but will he draw back on it, not throw it as much tonight?
Well, here's part of the problem is in August and September, opponents are batting .526 off his fastball. So you better spot that one probably out of the strike zone, maybe set up that cutter away. And you know, there's at times where that cutter really flattens out and doesn't do a lot too. So you got to stay on top of that pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Nolan Arenado. Runner at first is Blackmon. And a base hit into left. Blackmon will stop at second base. Arenado with the base hit. And it's first and second. 2 outs, and it brings in the left fielder David Dahl.
There's Arenado. Pitch down and in, just drops a bat hit and hit it hard there.
Well, last night it was a 35 pitch first inning for Carlos Martinez, and then he settled in. 2-run double, scored a run in the 4th. And eventually went 5 and picked up the win as Dahl looks at a breaking ball for a strike.
You might see him throw a lot of those first pitch breaking balls, but Carlos last night picks up his career high 15th victory. He was the 8th different Cardinal pitcher to win a ball game here at Coors Field with throwing only 5 innings. You know, so much offense in this ballpark. A lot of times the starter doesn't get a win if he only goes 5.
0-2.
I'm thinking about, you've seen here, there's 2 really good curveballs. And Dan, I'm wondering if a guy like Adam Wainwright, and remember he's had success here, but maybe you overthrow that curveball to the sense of you're really concentrating on bringing it and pulling it down. It's not going to break like it does at normal altitude, but if you concentrate on getting on top of it, maybe you can be effective.
Here's an 0-2. Jammed him, and it's tapped foul. That's Vinny Castilla, who is the first base coach tonight. Eric Young goes from first to third. And the reason why is that Stu Cole, who is the normal third base coach, was hit on the temple during batting practice in the oddest of fashions. He's throwing BP. There's a look at EY. And a third baseman was throwing the ball in, taking a ground ball. He threw the pitch. Cole did during BP, and both balls collided, and then it ricocheted and hit him on the temple. Very scary. Had to be helped off the field.
Never saw anything like that.
Here it is. It's as odd a thing you'll see in BP.
Look how quick that hit him too. Now watch, ball coming in from the third baseman. You know, coach hitting fungos to him there to the third baseman, and watch what happens.
He went down, and then the medical team came out, and it took a while, but eventually got back on his feet. Fastball misses outside.
had to be totally shocked and wonder where in the heck that ball came from.
Atlanta has picked up a run. They are tied now in the 6th inning against the Mets. Here's a 1-2 pitch in the dirt in that ball game for New York, and of course they lead by a game over San Francisco and St. Louis. Julio Teheran going for the Atlanta Braves. He's 2-0 with a .60 ERA against the Mets this year. Robert Gesellman, 5th ever start in the rotation for the Mets. Those two going tonight. From 0-2 to 2-2. Fights it off against the shift and a base hit out to left. Throw going into third, and it is in time. They get Arenado. As Randall Grichuk gets it to Peralta. The run, by the way, does count. 1-0. Cardinals get 9 hits tonight. You're invited into Krispy Kreme tomorrow and receive a dozen of their original glazed donuts for only $3.99. Stop by one of the 4 St. Louis area Krispy Kreme locations in Bloomington or Springfield, Illinois. So this is a throw by Moss, not Grichuk. Run does count. He scores before the tag. Yadier Molina on the first pitch. Lines it foul. This is Yadi's 136th game behind the plate. And here in the second half, you would think he'd be run down. He's hitting .347 and 5 home runs in that second half. Also riding a 7-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Just guys get beat up, the wear and tear, the hot summer months. Second half for a veteran, especially behind the plate, you would think the numbers would be down. That's not the case.
34 years of age now. They always talk about we're going to rest him more, and yet you can't because it's just too valuable. Catching, and then definitely the second half, what he's done offensively.
0-2 pitch. Giants and Dodgers later tonight in LA. Johnny Cueto and Rich Hill. Franchise record 29th blown save for San Francisco last night.
Watching that 9th inning, 1-0 game. Giants are leading, and I mean Bruce Bochy just kept on going to a different reliever, and every one of them just kept on giving up a hit.
Then you had the big benches clearing brawl after Madison Bumgarner had gotten Yasiel Puig to ground out. And he didn't want Puig to look at him. He was screaming, "Don't look at me. Don't even look at me."
You know, that question there, a lot of people, and, you know, Bruce Bochy is as good a manager as there is in the game today and one of the best ever. But he took Bumgarner out after 7 innings with a 1-hitter and knowing that his bullpen, so there may be something we don't quite know about, helped made that decision.
And Yachty did go. Chad Fairchild rings up Molina's second strikeout for De La Rosa.
I was getting to that splitter, and you're talking to some of the people around the Rockies, and they kind of said, well, we don't know what to expect from De La Rosa today. Really struggling those last 3 starts, but off to a good start today.
So 29 blown saves for the San Francisco Giants. Here is Matt Adams. The most blown saves for a team that made the playoffs, these Rockies. They had 29 back in 2007 and made it to the World Series.
Well, you kind of understand it here. Back there, pre-humidor.
Adams out to deep right. This game is tied on a long, and I mean long, home run. The big man makes it a 1-1 score.
That's going right to a Cardinal fan, maybe his buddy. But you're absolutely right. He crushed that ball. I had a feeling that he was going to have a good game. You also saw that all the home runs, the most home runs, and that's the 22nd home run allowed by De La Rosa. Most of them have come off of left-handed batters. And he didn't miss that one.
Now Peralta.
436 feet. Down and in, just dropped that bat head, and boy, it just took off.
0-1 pitch to Peralta's tap foul.
Speaking of home runs, as you saw, Big City hit one. Peralta's only batting .222 against De La Rosa, but he has 3 home runs.
15th home run for Matt Adams. He's now driven in 50. Eighth player with 15 or more home runs this season.
It's so strange, the Cardinals leading the National League in home runs and yet don't have a 30 home run guy. But they have really shared that responsibility.
Cardinals 200 plus home runs, most home runs by a National League team since the Phillies in 2009.
It's 211th home run for the season for the Cardinals.
The 2-2. Way inside, 3-2 on Peralta.
Mentioned the last 3 starts, De La Rosa has been walking a bunch and allowing home runs.
That's his 17th run allowed in the last 3+ starts. 3-2 pitch, and Peralta is hit. Last night it was Carlos Martinez hit by a pitch, and now Johnny Peralta.
Well, the next time up after Carlos was hit, he got the game-winning RBIs with a double, scoring 2.
Here's Randall Grichuk, homered last night. That was number 23, and he looks at a strike. Driven in 61, the average at 240. And for Grichuk, this is a 2-run shot. Got the Cardinals on the board, and they took the lead 2-1. 0-1 pitch. Pulled the string. 0-2.
Grichuk's hit the second most home runs in the National League since August 11th. You know, when he came back with the ball club after his second time going down for really pitch recognition, he swung the bat very well. A lot of extra base hits.
Atlanta now a 2-1 lead over the Mets in the 6th. Inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'll tell you what, this catcher of the Rockies, we're only in the 2nd inning, and man, has he been busy.
He's going to sleep well tonight.
Oh.
May have a bunch of bruises, but
very short lead at first by Peralta. And the 1-2 pitch. That's a base hit over Arenado. Peralta on his way to third. Grichuk to second base. And it's second and third. 1 out and a chance for Adam Wainwright.
Oh, Grichuk, you know, we talked about so many times he's had trouble with off-speed pitches, but there he's able to hit one and get another double. That's his 26th double of the year. So important to go first to third, and with this big outfield, it was easy for Johnny to do so. Dahl, who has a good throwing arm, we saw him part of a relay toss and throw a runner out at the plate last night. And Adam, you know, he can help his own cause. He's got 14 RBIs this year.
11 hits, 6 have been doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. He's hitting 196. He's looking at the pitchers around Major League Baseball. Probably Jake Arrieta will win that Silver Slugger, but Adam has had a very good year at the plate. Infield drawn in. That's driven. Left center. All the way to the wall. 2 runs will score. Adam Wainwright with a double to drive in 2. And the Cardinals go on top 3-1.
I think you just made Adam mad, saying Arrieta was going to win that Silver Slugger. That is now 2 more 16 RBIs. Get that average over 200. And look at that ball right out there. Centered it. Such a big outfield. Goes all the way to the wall, so Grichuk can score. He'll follow Peralta home, and the Cardinals have their first lead.
$16 driven in for Wainwright. No other pitcher has 10. And Colton Wong looks at a strike. Wong, a base hit to center, left stranded back in the first.
10 of his 12 hits. His first 9 were all extra base hits. Then he had 2 singles, and now he gets a double again. Wainwright now leads all Major League pitchers with 16 RBIs, 7 doubles, 10 extra base hits. He's tied for third in home runs with 2. He leads all active pitchers in career hits, doubles, RBIs, and 4th in average.
There's your Kia in the driver's seat. And Wong, it's a high fly ball into right. And the catch is made by Gonzalez. Brings in Jed Jerko. Here are the numbers for Jerko at the start of play tonight against De La Rosa. 14 for 22. That's a .636 average. He's also walked 6 times against him. On base percentage is over .700. And I'm sure that's what Walters is talking about right now. We know the numbers. We know how good this guy's been against you. First base is open. Would you rather deal with Piscotty?
He's got 5 doubles along with that home run. I asked Jed about facing De La Rosa, and he said, I just see the ball so much better against him. And it just seems like whether it's the splitter or whatever it is, he just picks it up. And I know what you would be doing right now.
Well, it's early. You're at Coors Field. I'm not sure.
You don't want to walk anybody.
I'm going back to the traditional way of pitching to him.
Okay. Well, let's hope he burns it. Burns you in your thinking. You'll take that, right? You're a big guy.
So 2 outs and a runner at second base, and now De La Rosa slowing things down. He is known as one of the slowest workers in all of baseball.
Notice last night and again tonight, they play a lot of the right-handed batters to hit the ball to right center or over towards right.
Cardinals come in with a road record of 16 games above 500, outscoring their opponents by 78 runs on the road. They have been a monster away from Busch Stadium. The 2-0. 3-0. Inside, so a walk to Jerko. First walk issued by De La Rosa. He's also hit a man. That was Johnny Peralta this inning. Solo home run by Adams. Hit Peralta. Double by Grichuk. Double by Wainwright. Walk to Jerko, and now Stephen Piscotty.
Struck out his first time, but he was 2 for 3 off of De La Rosa prior to the strikeout.
Five straight balls. Piscotty with 1 out and a runner at third back in the first, struck out.
369 average with runners in scoring position.
1-0 pitch. Tapped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a tough road trip here for Stephen Piscotty.
I think it really started the last road trip also, but
little bit low. Just 2 hits for Stephen on the trip, 2 for 18. But he has been one of the most consistent players, if not the most consistent, for the Cardinals all year long.
Yeah, it leads the Cardinals in just about every offensive category. Still a young player, you know, did play in September last year, but playing every day this year.
And now he's hit by the pitch, and it brings in Brandon Moss. We talked about it last night. The Rockies bullpen has been awful at times this year. And the only team that has a worse ERA than Colorado in their bullpen, the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the difference is minuscule.
Steve Foster is the pitching coach out to talk to him. And yeah, they're real comfortable. They're going to let De La Rosa walk. This is the second year of a 2-year, $25 million contract. And they're really like their young starters. Yeah, they got a great young offense. A lot of good players there. So this offseason, they'll work hard on trying to revamp the bullpen. I think where a few other clubs will be doing the same thing.
Bases loaded here for Brandon Moss.
Activity in their bullpen already.
And already a huge at bat in this game. Strike 1 on Moss. Fly to center, first time up. Wainwright, Jerko, Piscotty all aboard.
Jeff Hoffman, one of the young pitchers that they've taken out of the rotation because they want to conserve his innings.
Drops in there for a strike, 0-2.
There's the right-hander warming up for the Diamondbacks. Make a mistake and it might be a repeat like Big City.
0-2 pitch. Moss fights it off and foul. May have broken his bat. Looks like he did. This crowd, both sides, Cardinals and Rockies, starting to make some noise. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
De La Rosa is from Monterrey, Mexico. Originally got it to the big leagues with Milwaukee, then to Kansas City. Came to the Rockies for cash considerations.
0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss as Moss strikes out. Cardinals strand the bases loaded. However, they do some damage. Big City with a big fly. That tied the game. And then Adam Wainwright, an RBI double into left center. That would score 2. Cardinals on top. It's 3-1. To Jim Hayes. That's what we're going to do right now. Jimmy.
Dan Aledmus, Diaz getting the night off. Mike Matheny told me he saw some things from Diaz last night that just didn't look right. He said the trainers checked Diaz after the game, and they decided Diaz needed a day. Diaz still isn't 100% after coming back from that broken thumb. Matheny said Diaz throws looked a little off last night. Mike said you have an injury on the throwing hand. You can do all the strength exercises you want, but you can't replicate throwing itself. It takes time to build it back, according to Mike Matheny. And Dan, he also says they're keeping a close eye on Aledmus, but they think he'll be fine.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Brings in Parra, Descalso, and Walters here in the bottom of the second. Parra's hitting .254, 6 home runs, and he's driven in 36. Famous day in baseball history. Cal Ripken put an end to his consecutive game streak. 2,632 games. Took himself out of that lineup. And if you're wondering, the longest streak currently in baseball, 159 games.
Good say.
Alcides Escobar.
You were there for his
final
record
game.
Or the final game. Had to be exciting.
It was great. Jim Palmer was there, and they brought out all the Hall of Famers. They darkened the stadium, and they all came out from the gate in center field and then introduced Cal Ripken at the end, and it was just amazing. Three balls and a strike. saw Cal in Miami. We were having dinner, and he was at the same place, and he got up from his table to come over and say hi to us. I thought it should have been the other way around. However, we got to talking about TV work, and he's really enjoying the analyst role that he has at TBS and the postseason. He says it keeps him connected with the game today. Here's a 3-2. Lined out to left, but that'll carry to Moss. Well, fans of Charlie Blackmon and the Cardinals.
That's what I was thinking too. Coming off the bat of a left-hander, that slice right back to Moss. You can have about 24 more of those.
Descalso out to right field and a base hit. Daniel in his second year with the Colorado Rockies.
Really having a good year. He has the highest batting average of any pinch hitter in baseball. But with Trevor Story, a great story for the Rockies, they say they didn't realize they were going to miss him as much as they did. The young shortstop that still leads all major league shortstops with 27 home runs. He's been out for what, almost 2 months. But so Scalzo getting some playing time.
Next time you want to grab seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. Here's Tony Walters, and one of the ex-Cardinals that is in uniform. Available in the bullpen for the Rockies is Jason Mott, and Jim had a nice visit with Jason, who's done incredible work to strike out Cancer, his charity, and he's gotten the Players Association, Major League Baseball behind that. Players on various teams representing the Cancer initiative, which was started in St. Louis with the Cardinals.
Yeah, and now, you know, they talked about the T-shirts with the backward K, and you know, you see almost every day you'll see somebody wearing one of those T-shirts. All the different clubs, and he's kind of had a lost season. He's been on the disabled list twice, but back on the active roster now.
Here's a 2-0. Runner goes, and that one catches Molina. Ouch. He had gotten up to throw, and you wonder if that tip got on the inside of an ankle.
Well, let's find out.
Or the foot.
Yeah, more the foot, but sure, it doesn't feel good either way.
Jim Joyce voted as the best umpire in baseball by the players a couple of years ago in a survey that was taken. So he's going to give Molina a little time and clear off that plate. Yachty says he's all right, and here we go. Two balls, one strike. Descalso, the runner at first base, 3 steals this year. Pulled foul.
Well, there's a converted infielder, and the last couple of years, the really diminished playing time in the Cleveland organization as he's had knee injuries. Hundley is in the last year of his contract, probably not coming back, so these young catchers are auditioning for Walt Weiss and the Rockies.
The 2-2. Curveball, and struck him out. Second strikeout for Wainwright tonight. And it brings in the pitcher, Jorge De La Rosa. He's a 189 hitter this year. No home runs. He's driven in 6.
7 for 37. But kind of a mismatch when you compare the two hitting pitchers.
Short lead at first by Descalso. 2 down. Cardinals leading 3-1. Fouled back. They're now in the 7th. Atlanta with a 2-1 lead over the Mets.
Like I said, Dan, you know, Everybody thinks it's, you have an easy schedule, you got an easy walk like the Mets do, but you're playing clubs like, well, Colorado, for instance, too. They want to be the spoilers. And they're gunning for San Francisco and the Dodgers.
0-1 pitch. Taps it foul to Matt Adams. Tonight it is a Vin Scully bobblehead giveaway. So Dodger Stadium will be packed. Vin in his 67th and final season of calling Dodger baseball. And amazingly, he's called that rivalry, the Giants and the Dodgers, in 8 different ballparks.
Or ballparks, I could say decades, but not quite that, but could be. 67 years broadcasting, and now does the entire game. He's got to be your idol. He does it by himself. Wouldn't want a color guy to get in the way of his storytelling.
And a swing and a miss. Strikeout of De La Rosa. Back-to-back Ks for Wainwright, and 3 tonight. We head to the 3rd. St. Louis on top. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. By your local Volkswagen dealer. And brought to you by Bank of America. Life's better when we're connected. So many Cardinal fans in attendance. This place got loud at the end of the game last night. Cardinals picked up that victory, and a screamer hit by Arenado to left.
And we were down on the lower press level and met a gentleman named Dennis that was telling me about his aunt, Juanita Briggs. Said she threw out the first pitch, and I think I remember because she's 100 years old. Threw out the first pitch at St. Louis, now living in Macomb, Illinois, and says she never misses a broadcast. So, Juanita, hope you're having a good day, and we can bring you another Cardinal victory.
Atlanta has now taken a 5-1 lead in the 7th inning over the Mets. Molina on a 2-0 pitch, pops it foul and out of play.
Don't worry, Dan. The New York press will be kind to the Metropolitans.
I'm sure they will.
Oh, yeah. They'll totally understand.
Understand all the injuries to the rotation and
yeah,
guys that are missing for Terry Collins. Big gap in left center. Molina struck out on a check swing his first time up. Hits it out of play, evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The American League wild card Baltimore and Toronto would be in. Detroit is 2.5 back. Houston and Seattle 3 games out. Pulled foul to Chris Maloney and lets that go right on by. Helton's hot dog stand is open for business tonight.
I saw Matt was taking his bat going to hit. The Cardinals did not hit on the field. And I said, what are you going to break today?
Molina strikes out for the 2nd time. Fox Sports Midwest. As you get a look at this last pitch.
You got a feeling that Yachty kind of watching him, struck out twice. That's 4 strikeouts for De La Rosa. You know, he might give him a day off tomorrow with the day game.
Here's Adams, who homered. Teams with the most hitters with 15 or more home runs. The Cardinals have 8. And then there are 6 teams that have 6. Home run number 15 back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Three infielders on the right side. Adams' home run was hit into the 2nd deck here at Coors Field. And held on to by Walters, and a strikeout.
3 in a row.
Fox Sports Midwest has joined with Community Wholesale Tire and the Independent Tire Dealers to present the Gateway Warrior Foundation Golf Tournament October 10th. Foundation's largest fundraiser, providing help for veterans and wounded military men and women. GatewayWarriorFoundation.org to find out more.
When's your golf tournament?
I believe it's that same day.
Oh.
Raised over $2 million.
Phenomenal job you've done.
It's been great. $2 million plus for kids with special needs. 100% goes right back to those children.
And of course, great cause for the Warriors tournament, and that's the problem. Just too many. They're all so great causes, and St. Louis is a very generous community.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. 2 strikes on Peralta. So De La Rosa, after seeing 9 hitters in the 2nd inning, a chance to strike out the side here in the 3rd. Rockies will have the top of the lineup in the bottom half of this inning. Go figure. Strikes out the side. That's 6 tonight for De La Rosa. It began with Yadier Molina, chased a pitch in the dirt. Matt Adams, a foul tip, held on to by Tony Walters. The strikeout of Johnny Peralta. Followed by DJ LeMahieu and Carlos Gonzalez. Blackman walked back in the first inning. Blackman very consistent. 327 his average against the lefties, 316 against the righties. Charlie right now a distant third in that batting race, led by his teammate on deck, LeMahieu.
They aren't sure about his future, as he's 30 years of age now.
Out in front, and it is 0-2.
Rockies got a whole bunch of young left-handed hitting outfielders. I think he could do a hidden ball trick. He could have a ball in his beard and go out there and hit one 415 and act like he pulled it back in and throw the one from his beard. No?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Too many cameras.
Beard might be able to do it, though. A long foul ball. 0-2 the count. Blackman, there was talk that he would be drafted as a pitcher initially. And he told everybody he wanted to be a position player before that draft.
Remember Kimmer Brett, George Brett's older brother, was half the clubs drafted him as a pitcher and half of them drafted him as a position player.
Here's a 1-2. Hits it the other way. Going back, Moss. And he makes the catch. BJC Healthcare difference maker, and the scoring of the Rockies has increased here in 2016. You know it's going to be offense, but it's gone up and up and up here the last 4 years.
Well, I think they're moving in the right direction. They're hoping that they can solve their bullpen problems and they can compete in the West, because they have one of the best offenses going. The young pitching, that's Gray. We saw Anderson last night. We're going to see a 21-year-old tomorrow that will be making his first major league start. He's made a couple bullpenners. They think they're in the right direction.
I would think this has got to be one of the toughest jobs in baseball in terms of being a manager right here in Colorado, trying to figure out how to get through 9 innings, night in and night out at this ballpark.
I drove Jim Leyland to retirement for a while.
He was here for 1 year. When Jim told us he used to sleep in his office, he had a couch here at the ballpark, and inside his office he would just stay, an entire homestand, basically never leave the ballpark, and it drove him crazy. Here's a 2-0.
Especially those early days when both teams would score in double figures. That wasn't uncommon at all. And you brought in guys like Darryl Kyle, Mike Hampton, paid them a lot of money as free agent pitchers, and Denny Nagel and a lot of guys, and they just really couldn't duplicate what they did for other ball clubs. And then, like you said, all the blown saves for your bullpen, that'll drive you crazy.
Kyle figured it back out again when he got to St. Louis.
Sure.
All of a sudden the breaking ball worked. Curveball that time popped up. This will be Colton Wong who makes the catch. So there's 2 down.
He's really thrown that curveball and thrown it well tonight. Used it very effectively.
We wondered before the start of play tonight, how often would he go to that breaking ball in the thin air here in Denver, and so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, he's used it as a get-ahead pitch. He's used it to put people away. The cutters coming in on the left-handed batters. And remember how teams were just hitting his fastball at such a high clip, .529 in August and September. Opponents were hitting his fastball, but he spotted it much better today. Throw it like that, you know, that's off the plate, but yeah, you try and throw it near the plate, but off the plate to where you get guys fish.
Here's a 1-0. There it is again. He's also got variances with the speed of the breaking ball. This one at 73 miles an hour.
Well, that's what I talk about. You know, a get ahead breaking ball, and then you throw a little harder one that, you know, trying to put a hitter away. Just changing speeds on it. But he's really getting on top of it and pulling it down and effectively.
Here's a 1-1. So 2 outs, nobody on. Gonzalez with that strikeout back in the first, now 0 for 16 against Cardinal pitching this year.
That's hard to believe.
It really is. Lines it out to center. That ball will carry, and it is over the head of Grichuk. So winds up being a double, and you get a good example right there in seeing how the ball just has a little extra gear at this ballpark.
Yeah, and you know, we always talk about the center fielder. The toughest ball is the ball right at you. If it's left or right of you, you can adjust the height. But here, and we've seen a lot of times that Grichuk will take a false step back, but here it looked like he came in a little bit, and then he, you know, went back on an angle, and the ball got over his head. But that ball just jumps here. And I think he would tell you that, you know, he wished he played a little different and would have made that play.
So 2 outs, and it brings in Arenado. Base hit to left, first time up.
The breaking ball, get ahead.
Arenado, the first Rocky since Matt Holliday to have consecutive 30 home run, 100 RBI seasons. Holliday had some just incredible numbers here at Coors Field and wearing that Rockies uniform.
Before Matt Holliday came to the Cardinals, his numbers against Cardinal pitching, I may be wrong, but I bet it was really close to 500. Seemed like he just crushed Cardinal pitching, and he's hitting .412 against De La Rosa tonight, starter for the Rockies. So hopefully we'll get him back.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Arenado didn't like it.
And really spotted that fastball in on him. Thought it was inside, but look where Yachty is. Got a legitimate gripe, but it caught a portion of the black. Going away from him.
1-2, bounced, and staying put. Gonzalez, he should be at third base. Yep.
Yeah, there's no excuse for him not being the third there. Bounce off, gets a secondary lead, and I mean, it looked like he was going back to the bag when Yachty started running to the backstop.
The 2-2.
Looked like he was jumping up in front of the batter's box. It's a story that there was a Cardinal pitcher that real slow breaking ball. Aaron could never hit him, and he threw him a slow breaking ball, and Aaron ran up in front of the batter's box, hit a home run, and of course he was called out, and they said, I don't care, I just had to hit a home run off him.
3-2, and it's popped up. Shallow right. Wong calling for it, and he has it. So the Rockies strand a runner, and it's 3-1 St. Louis. Cardinals with the lead here in the top of the fourth from Coors Field in Denver. Well, last night we saw Carlos Martinez pick up this double that scored 2. He needed the oxygen. Tonight, Wainwright with a double. We joke about it, but it does take something out of these players playing here at Coors Field. There is no doubt about it.
You know, one year in spring training when I was with the Atlanta Braves, they had an altitude simulator, and of course it was had to wear it on your back, and it was a breathing mask, and you could set it for 5,000 feet or 10,000 feet, and I used to run with that every day just to, you know, and it was really interesting to, you know, to see the difference.
It's hard.
It really is.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Grichuk.
And they say it takes about 3 or 4 days to get acclimated, you know, particularly when you're up here skiing. But, you know, a ball club's only here for 3 days, and they really just barely get acclimated if they do at all. And yesterday he really, I mean, he was breathing hard. Mike was talking about he looked like he was green. He got the game-winning RBIs, and so far, you know, Wainwright put his team ahead with his 2 RBI double.
The 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Well, 1 point tonight. If you just joined us, Rockies had activity in their bullpen for De La Rosa. Cardinals batted around in the second. Solo home run by Matt Adams. 2-run double by Adam Wainwright after falling behind 1-0. Since that time, he has struck out 4 in a row.
And now that he has 2 strikes, he's been getting a lot of mileage with his splitter.
The second walk issued by De La Rosa. Mike Helling, our outstanding producer, poses an interesting question. What's been more surprising, the pitchers and how they've hit, in particular Wainwright, or the pinch hitting?
I have to say the pinch hitting.
I agree.
You know, when Tony La Russa came to the National League, he allocated more time and for the starting pitchers to hit than I had ever seen any other manager. And that has continued, and these guys have helped their own cause. Trying to get a balk. Wainwright's trying to. Jim Joyce was saying he stepped off. Tony said, okay, if the pitcher's hitting this league, we're gonna give him a fair share. You know, a lot of guys never hit, other than the day they, you know, are going to pitch, and they do that half-heartedly.
Wainwright gets the bunt down, and De La Rosa to first. LeMahieu, we mentioned he's a bigger second baseman. He needed every part of that 6'4" frame to reach for that throw that was up the line. So the sacrifice, the 5th of the year for Adam Wainwright.
De La Rosa has committed 3 errors this year, and you usually think of most of those are on throws. And it looked like he had an outside chance to get Grichuk at second base, but elected to get the sure out at first.
I would say the pinch hitters as well, because you didn't know about Jeremy Hazelbaker, who's been great off the bench.
Yeah, and remember, the last few years, the Cardinals had 0 threats coming off the bench. Anybody that would put fear in an opposing manager of a late pinch hit home run. And then the Cardinals set a record.
Long with a fly ball out to deep left. Dahl going back and makes the catch. And it brings in Jed Jerko.
Remember, Jed Jerko was acquired really to play all the infield positions, but to be that threat coming off the bench. And you got Hazelbaker. You know, Garcia's got a couple of them. Now you got, you know, Carpenter end up getting the 15th pinch hit, the record breaker.
Home run.
Yeah, home run, excuse me. Home run is number 19.
Jed Jerko at the plate. You had Adams and Moss, one of those guys more times than not coming off the bench when Holiday is healthy.
And Matt has 6 career pinch hit home runs.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. 2-0.
Hazelbaker's 4 this year. That ties the franchise record.
Chevy Fox Tracks. See if they pitch around Jerko here. There's a look at Jeremy Hazelbaker. Jerko walked back in the second inning.
What a good story that was. 751 games in the minor leagues, and Hazelbaker comes up and then has the early success as a pinch hitter. Real shot in the arm. Recently, Jose Martinez, 878 games in the minor leagues, gets the first taste of big league action. He picked up his second pinch hit last night.
Well, you know he's got the green light here. 3-0. It's a high fly ball into center. 3-0. Turn him loose. A bomb off the bat of Jed Jerko over the 415 sign. Woo! Home run number 27. And he's now tied with Brandon Moss for the team lead.
Well, we talked about how his success came in hitting .626, 14 for 22, 5 doubles and a home run. Add one more home run off of De La Rosa. It's first home run this year on a 3-0 count. But he told me, he said, I see the ball very well off of De La Rosa. He just convinced us.
He's now 15 for 24, 7 extra base hits against De La Rosa. 5-1 St. Louis. As I said, you know he had the green light, no doubt.
Well, and remember, he walked him last time pitching around him.
Up and into Piscotty, who's been hit by a pitch and struck out. The Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard, the home run leaders, Orioles, then the Cardinals, and then 2 more American League teams in the top 4. What a year Mark Trumbo has had for Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, was out to talk to De La Rosa. How those home run hitters get together, don't they?
They find each other in that dugout.
And the bottom of the 8th in New York. Atlanta still leading 5-1.
By the end of the night, the Cardinals could be in that first spot in the wild card. And to think on Saturday night, keep saying this, but the amazing turn of this season, nobody on 2 outs and trailing in the 9th inning to San Francisco that would have put them 4 games back.
Jerko's bomb, 452 feet. '27 ties him with Brandon Moss for the team lead. It's his 20th home run since the All-Star break for Jerko.
Most in the National League. The 2-2 pitch to Piscotty. Pitch number 76 by De La Rosa. Cardinals have Luke Weaver tomorrow afternoon. Boy, De La Rosa is all over the place. There's a look at Luke. Air was committed behind him in his last start in San Francisco. Then the wheels came off. He talked about the grip of the baseball late on the West Coast. It was tough for him as the cool air rolled in. We'll see him bounce back tomorrow. 3-2 pitch. And he strikes out Piscotty, who slams his bat. However, Jed Jerko on a 3-0 delivery from Jorge De La Rosa smoked it out into center. Jerko with home run number 27. Take that, you Mets fan. By Jed Jerko, and let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Sam, we had Sang Hwan Oh on the pregame with his interpreter Eugene Koo, of course. We asked Oh about that emotionless demeanor on the mound, about being the stone Buddha. He told me he's been that way ever since he can remember. He says it's not something he does intentionally, it's just the way he is. I asked him if there are emotions stirring below the surface, and he told me he's not sure. He's so focused on the hitter, he isn't even aware of anything else. And every time we sit down with O and Koo, we ask the final boss if he's learned any new English phrases to use in his dealings with the media. Dan, his newest phrase, say if he got a really bad question from me. Are you kidding?
You probably heard that a bunch.
Yep.
Shallow center, and Jerko a nice over-the-shoulder catch. First out here in the 4th inning. Wainwright gave up a run in the first, but other than that, he's been very good here tonight. So Dahl, the first out. Now it brings in Parra.
If Jimmy's still there, I was going to say, are you kidding me? Jim can explain that.
All right.
Maybe he can't, but he asked O, he said, say I ask you a really dumb question. How would you respond in English? And that's what O said. Are you kidding me?
So he's learning.
Yes.
Two 2-0 the count on Parra. Wainwright and Molina thought they had a cold strike on that pitch. I guess it was just a bit high. Here's a 2-0.
Danny, I called up I just looked at a reference. The very first curveball of this at bat was a 70-mile-an-hour curveball. 70 miles when Wainwright released it, 65 miles when it reached home plate with a 16-inch vertical drop.
16 inches. There's a strike. Three-one pitch. Fly ball into left. Backing up, Brandon Moss makes the catch. And there's two away.
Pitch up and away, and just a little harmless fly ball out to left field. Wainwright 65 innings pitched. You know, he came in here with an ERA over 6, the second highest ERA on the road in the National League. But the Cardinals have won 4 of his last 6 starts. So he's keeping his team in the ball game. And
there's Descalso.
If he wins this ball game, it'll be his 12th victory today, but it'll be the 20th victory of when games he started.
High fly ball into right, and this will carry into the bullpen. Daniel Descalso, his 8th home run.
That's his 3rd home run since the birth of a child. And they're talking about, making a joke about his papa power. Like that was just a line drive that just shot out of this ballpark into the Rockies bullpen.
That is the 18th home run that Wainwright has allowed. 16 of the 18 have been on the road.
Goes along with that high ERA.
Descalso's first home run against his former team.
We had so much fun with Daniel and what a good guy he is and a very good ball player. But we didn't like that.
One ball, one strike on Tony Walters.
You see the hand of Mark Reynolds hit by a pitch. Broke his hand after.
Ground ball hit to the right side. There is Colton Wong ranging to his left to make the play. Former Cardinal Mark Reynolds. It's 5-2. Mets 1 game up on St. Louis and San Francisco. Beautiful night here in Denver. It's Moss, Molina, and Adams for St. Louis. Brandon Moss struck out with the bases loaded back in the second. So De La Rosa is still in this game here in inning number 5. Moss is also flied out to center to go along with that strikeout. Pitch count is now at 80 after this delivery.
You know, Dan, when you don't prior to September, when you can expand the rosters and get a ton of relievers, you really have to be careful here that you don't take your starter out too soon, because you can go through just a ton of pitchers the way the ballpark can be so explosive.
Catches the corner, 2 strikes.
I think that was something that a lot of clubs learned here.
You'd see players go on the DL that may or may not have been hurt, as Moss strikes out again. Just trying to get live arms. Toyota keys to the stretch run.
Well, you don't want to look too far ahead. You know, it's the old cliche, take one game at a time. You play the game, that's the only one you can win. But we also want you to take the road home. Play at home the way they have played on the road, because the team has the best record in baseball on the road. And maybe for the last homestand, they can start playing that same caliber of ball at home, and then we'll take our chances in the postseason.
Molina is 0 for 2, trying to extend his hit streak to 8 games. Hit .391 during this streak. The Cardinals can win this game tonight. It would be their 47th road victory. Good seats still available as Cardinals return home. They've got the Reds for 4 and then Pittsburgh for 3. Great giveaways as well. Some of those theme nights coming up at the ballpark next week. Just head to cardinals.com/theme.
No rhyme or reason why they've struggled at home this year. First losing season since 1999.
Little check swing that rolls foul. Well, if you want to see playoff baseball, you can see it next week.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's the same thing.
And you're going to need all the fan support, because, you know, when we do come home, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh are going to be trying to play that spoiler role and knock the Cardinals out. So a lot of fun baseball yet to be had. Fedoras have made their way to Denver.
The 2-2. Out to left and a base hit. So Molina now an 8-game hitting streak. 1 for 3 on the night.
A piece of hitting looked like the breaking ball. And stays up a little bit. He drives it into left field.
Brings in Adams, who homered. A solo shot back in inning number 2. Short lead at first by Molina. When the Cardinals hit 1 home run, they're 20 and 32. 2 or more, 46 and 13.
It's getting a little more exciting in New York. It's 5-4 now.
Not only is it good to see Adams go deep, but do it against a lefty, which was the talk of spring training and really last couple of springs about trying to have him play every day. And if he's going to do that, has to get better against left-handed pitching.
Yes. Also has to stay healthy. You know, every season it seems like there's something that puts him on the DL. You'd love to see what he could do with 600 at bats.
1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, runner at first. 5-2 St. Louis. Here in the top of inning number 5. See De La Rosa really pitching him away in this at bat.
Higher average, 283. Not as much production.
The shift on. 3-1. Right-hander starting to throw in the bullpen for the Rockies. You know, Adams did this a couple of times earlier in the season, but with this pronounced of a shift, you'd see him dropping down a bunt. Cardinals have a 3-run lead. Peralta on deck. Kind of bunt that even Nolan Arenado won't get you.
You're right.
And he draws the walk. 3rd walk issued by De La Rosa. Back by popular demand, don't miss Grateful Dead Night. Busch Stadium next Monday. Purchase of a special theme ticket. You'll receive an exclusive Grateful Dead inspired Cardinals t-shirt. Get your Grateful Dead Night tickets now at cardinals.com/theme. Doug Marino right there, the graphics man and stat man, working with the crew on the Rocky side, and I would think that that theme night ticket fits him perfectly. A strike 2 Peralta.
Trying to hit by a pitch and a strikeout victim tonight.
Runners at first and second. 0-1 pitch to Johnny Peralta. 0-2.
I was talking to Peralta about his thumb, and he says it doesn't hurt anymore, but I just don't feel like I have the hand strength. And it kind of probably won't be until next spring before he'll have full strength hand. He had the thumb injury.
The 2-2. Peralta hits it sharply to third, knocked down by Arenado, and he'll step on the bag for the out. So he takes the hit away. And that could have been one of those Nolan Arenado type double plays where he steps on the bag and throws that strike to first.
Oh, no doubt about it. With his throwing arm, if he gets this cleanly, he steps on the bag and he throw to first, he'd have the double play easily.
Instead, it extends the inning to Grichuk with Wainwright on deck.
Little things like that give you a second chance.
That's what happened last night. Arenado made an error, and the Cardinals then scored 3. Grichuk with a double to left, scored, and walked and scored. Hits a base hit into left. Here comes the big man. Rumbling on home, the throw way offline, near the Rockies dugout. A run scores. That's Adams on the base hit by Grichuk. That makes it a 6-2 St. Louis lead.
Good game for Grichuk. His second hit. He was also scored 2 runs already, as he's been on base 3 times with a double, a walk, and now a RBI single. Dahl's got a strong throwing arm, but this one way off a line. You see here, you see Adams coming in here. Somehow it looks like Arenado got hurt on this play. Is that Arenado they're looking at?
I believe so.
In the knee, I believe.
You'd have to think it was probably the play before, but you just don't know. He's stretching the legs. Now he's reaching for it here. That's what maybe got him.
Yeah, right there when he kind of dived for it. Bowlers deflected it towards the dugout. Hamstring or something grabbed him there for a second. Says it's okay. See if Walt Weiss doesn't make a pitching change when he's out there by the mound. Looks like he's going back to the dugout.
Well, you got Wainwright up.
Now he's going back to the mound. And he make a call for the bullpen.
He's calling for the right-hander. That'll be it for De La Rosa in what could be his final start ever at Coors Field. You can tell these fans see the great moment that it was. It's our Chevy called to the pen. Eddie Butler, really at one point a highly thought of prospect for the Rockies. The night for Adam Wainwright. Pitching, hitting, driving in 2, had a sacrifice as well. And now Wainwright a chance to do some more damage. Cardinals with a lead of 6-2. They've out hit the Rockies 7-5. Runners at second and third. RBI for Grichuk, by the way, number 62. It was Butler and John Gray who had 16 strikeouts to start over the weekend. 2 of the what they thought would be cornerstones of this rotation. Monday pitch arsenal on Eddie Butler. Fastball and the slider mixes in a change and a curve.
25-year-old right-hander, second appearance on the major league roster this year.
Wainwright hits it off the end of the bat. It's a base hit. 2 runs will score. And the Cardinals have opened it up. It's now 8-2 with Wainwright having driven in 4 of the 8.
And we talked about how he's doing everything, but prior to this day became the Cardinals' first pitcher in franchise history to record three RBI games, and just add a 4 RBI game tonight. So just how rare his offensive contribution. He's got the most hits of any active pitcher, and he's helped his cause with 4 RBIs tonight.
And a little bouncer hit to the right side, and Wong rounds out. He is 1 for 4 on the night. Adam Wainwright is driven in 4, and the Cardinals have opened it up. It's now an 8-2 St. Louis lead. Kids 15 and younger entering with a ticket receive a growth poster featuring Stephen Piscotty, courtesy of Missouri Farmers Care. Stay in your seats. Fireworks after the game. That's brought to you by Cooper Tires. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. 8-2. Well, the moment may have been lost on some of the fans, but De La Rosa realizing more than likely this is it for him in a Rockies uniform at this ballpark. He's tearing up. Very emotional moment for him.
Dan, he's been with the Rockies since 2008. He is their all-time wins leader, strikeout leader. He's in the final year of a 2-year, $25 million contract. They've already told him that this is going to be his last start of the year, not coming back. So he's seeing his Rockies day come to an end, and he's charged with all 8 runs today.
Butler will hit for himself here in the bottom of the 5th. Last check, Atlanta with a 1-run lead over the Mets in the 9th. Fastball and a strike from Wainwright.
And they stranded 2 runners in the bottom of the 8th, did the Mets.
Al, when you think about it, sometimes a player is forced to leave the game because they aren't any good anymore. Just everybody else can tell them. Other times a player knows when the end has come. Circling that baseball, Colton Wong. You think about it, they've dedicated their life to this craft.
Sure, and It's emotional. You know, even though this is third organization, but you've been here a long time and got to turn the page. As the youngsters will come in here and take care of him. He's 35 years of age. And sure, Walt Weiss, you know, remember Walt, great playing career, finished up here as a player and then was coaching his kids in high school, and all of a sudden gets the Rockies job. And now his future is unknown.
Pitch taken high by Blackman. If you don't have the horses, there's only so much you can do.
Good point.
Blackman has hit one to the track in left. Also walked back in the first inning.
You think Joe Torre became that much of a better manager when he went to New York? No, he had the players. This last year in St. Louis, I think the payroll was something like, it was under $30 million.
2-1. The bearded look of Charlie Blackmon. If you saw him without the beard, you'd have no idea that that is Charlie Blackmon. The 2-1 pitch. Hits it high in the air down the right field line. It is hooking, and that ball is gone.
At the foul pole. He was 6 for 10 off of Wainwright coming into this action. It's his 28th home run and 75th RBI. That'll get the bullpen active for the Cardinals. Or are they just stretching out there?
DJ LeMahieu with one out and nobody on. And a strike. LeMahieu is lined out and popped out. Blackman hit that ball a ton.
Eight home runs. There you go.
With and without.
Looks a little bit like Brad Ausmus without it.
Puts water on his face and it's like a chia pet.
Set up outside, but the ball runs up and in. Really not that close.
The 3-1 pitch. A little bit low.
Mayhew reaches base, 36th game in a row. Second walk for Wainwright tonight.
By the way, Adam Wainwright, 11th Cardinal in the long history of baseball in St. Louis. It's the pitchers. We have 4 RBIs in a game without hitting a home run. The last time that it happened was all the way back in 2003. Woody Williams against the Toronto Blue Jays. Cargo, soft liner that's caught by Peralta. We'll see how Arenado looks with this. Looked like he may have tweaked a hamstring or something, but medical team came out to look at his leg. He has a base hit back in the first. And popped out to second baseman Colton Wong. 1 for 2 on the night.
National League leader in home runs, Major League leader in RBIs.
Good breaking ball.
His curveball has been very good tonight. An area where you're not supposed to be able to throw the curveball. It's been a very big pitch for him.
One and two. You know, you think about a leg injury with a hitter, that's their base.
The foundation and base. After that swing, he was kind of flexing his right leg a little bit.
One ball and 2 strikes. The Mets fall just short. They had the winning run at the plate with Cespedes. Tying run was on. They fall to the Braves 5-4. So if the Cardinals hold on here, they would be tied with New York.
So it could be a 3-way tie at the end of the night. Full count. Adams will play behind LeMahieu. That noise wasn't for the Mets score. It was because scoreboard trying to get the fans here to get excited about the Rockies' chance.
3-2 breaking ball, and he strikes out Arenado, who slams his bat and his helmet. The Cardinals have an 8-3 lead. Last time he was up swinging on 3-0. Jed Jerko connected. He's due up when we come back. At the top of the 6th, the Cardinals have an 8-3 lead. 4th inning for the Cardinals, our Nissan drive of the game. Off the bat of Jerko, out to dead center field. He had some distance left on that one too, clearing the 415-foot side.
I think it was measured at 452 on that blast. His 20th since the All-Star break, 27th on the year.
One ball and one strike. What's unique about the line, the stat line here with Jed Jerko, 27 home runs, which is great.
Yeah.
But only 54 RBIs.
And a lot of times you'd think it'd be at minimum 3-1.
But you'd have to say that many of the home runs that he's hit, even if they are the solo variety, have been big.
Yes.
It's been game tying or go ahead home runs.
They really have been.
Rockies are thinking, wait a minute, this is the Jed Jerko we saw in San Diego. Jerko pulls it fair, and that'll go into the corner. So Jed Jerko, a two-hit night. Home run and now a double. Go along with a walk.
And 14 of the 27 home runs he's hit have either tied or given St. Louis the lead. So they've been big blasts. This one right over the third base bag. He's got 11 home runs in the 7th inning or later. That's tied for first in the National League. So they've been big. Piscotty's RBIs have been big. They've hit 369 with runners in scoring position. That's third in the National League.
First pitch to Piscotty. Hits sharply to short, past Descalso and into left. Jerko advancing from second to third. Just a rocket off his bat. They ruled this a base hit.
Sometimes I wonder why there's no 400 hitters today. You know where I'm going with that?
Oh, yeah. Well, a couple guys, as the Cardinals have gotten back in the race, that really, over the last couple of weeks have been quiet. One of them at the plate in Moss, the other one standing at first in Piscotty. Now you have a day game tomorrow, off day Thursday. And as we've talked about, this is not the time to rest guys. Do you push, or do you say, we're going to try to do a little 2-for-1 here?
I think you still have to do the 2-for-1s. If you see things, like what they saw with Diaz yesterday, that the throws were a little awkward, didn't have the life on it, coming back after missing 36 days. The trainers kind of tell Mike that, maybe it's a good day for him to get a rest. It was a good day for Carpenter to get a rest. He was over 12 off of De La Rosa.
Moss hits it off the end of the bat into shallow left. Catch made by Dahl. Here comes a throw, and Jerko scores. So Brandon Moss drives in RBI number 65 to extend the Cardinals' lead. It's now 9-3.
Threw that ball in there, and Arenado was the cutoff man, and they might have had a play at the plate, but he elected to cut it off and make sure that Piscotty didn't get himself into scoring position, conceding the run to the Cardinals.
Now Yadier Molina, a couple of strikeouts and a base hit to left. Likes to swing at that first pitch. This time he takes it. And the 0-1. Yadi, even with a big lead like this, you're up by 6 runs, no lead safe. Might think about a hit and run here.
Good hit and run candidate. I think it's a good possibility. You see LeMahieu playing up a little bit, First baseman holding on the runner, so a big gap out there.
Back in safely, Piscotty.
Rockies may be thinking same thing. So good at taking an inside pitch and inside outing that swing towards right, or taking the pitch away from it and just driving it that way.
Cardinals have out hit the Rockies 10-6. Here's a 1-1. He goes to right. That's your base hit. Piscotty will stop at second.
We'd have first and third, wouldn't we?
So the Cardinals have 3 hits here in the top of the 6th, and it brings in Matt Adams.
2 hits in a row for Yachty after striking out a pair to start the game.
Back in the 2nd inning, Big City with this home run, number 15 of the year.
Boy, it was a rocket there to the second deck. Majestic home run. Don't stop. Keep on piling on. Never feel like you have a comfortable lead here.
Fastball taken down and in.
Throw that ball down and in with the strike.
One-0 pitch in the dirt. Right-hander starts to throw in the Rockies' pen. The 2-0 pitch to Adams. Ooh. 2-1.
I think he'd like that pitch back.
Two runners on and a 2-1 pitch. Inside to Adams. Johnny Peralta on deck.
Justin Miller is the right-hander thrown in the bullpen.
Let's see what Big City can do. Little damage here on a 3-1 pitch. Ooh, watch out. I would say he was ready for it.
Almost not quite a Mike Laga imitation. Mike Laga was the only hitter that ever hit a ball completely out of Busch Stadium. He was a left-handed hitter, and he hit it right over the first base dugout and clear out of the stadium. He was a little bit out in front.
3-2. Adams pops it up. That'll find the seats. A lot of Cardinal fans here, in particular behind the St. Louis dugout.
Cardinals travel so well. You know, a lot of Cardinal fans that, you know, live in Cardinal Nation will go in all the different ballparks in the course of the summer, but a lot of people are transplants and they follow a winner.
Gives you an idea just how big this outfield is. Never forget the throws by Ricky Ankiel, our colleague. 2 in 1 game at third base.
Yep.
3-2 pitch. And he walks. So Adams, a solo home run and a couple of walks. Guys in the truck, they don't miss a beat. Back in 2008, Rick Ankiel makes this catch. The seed to third. Troy Gloss with the tag. This is my favorite because watch the reaction of the dugout, and in particular, Chris Duncan.
Well, you know what I liked about that one is how far he had to run on that one and to get it up against the wall. But two tremendous throws, and we still never get tired of seeing those.
Unbelievable, huh?
Tremendous athlete. We still see him at fantasy camp and the things he can do in a diamond.
Bases loaded for Johnny Peralta.
I understand Rick's mother-in-law is, under the weather right now. We wish her a speedy recovery.
Bases loaded. Cardinals with 3 hits in this inning and a walk. A 9-3 lead. Inside to Peralta. And the Cardinals start to get activity in their pen. If you bust this game wide open, you might think about going to your pen. Wainwright gives you 5 and go back to the pen. We'll see.
And also, Danny, when you have this long inning,
absolutely,
you're almost at 100 pitches.
Double play. Lines to Descalso. Steps on the bag for the double play. Cardinals postseason push. MLB.com at bat. #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day. Live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. It's all at MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now.
I was talking to some Cardinal fans today, Dan, and I found out we have a really big Cardinal fan in Las Vegas. Valerie Herzog never misses a broadcast. Loves her Cardinals. So I bet she's enjoying this one. Adam Wainwright with a 9-3 lead, pitching in the 6th inning.
Mets have lost tonight 5-4 to Atlanta. Cardinals win. They hold on. They are tied with New York. The Giants and the Dodgers scoreless. That ball game in the 3rd. David Dahl, then Pereira and Descalso. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch count at 91 for Wainwright, so more than likely his final inning of work.
Keith Kepper warming up in the bullpen, as the first 3 hitters are all left-handed.
hit out of play.
Wainwright trying to win his 12th ball game tonight. And as I said, if the Cardinals win this ball game, it would be the 20th win in Wainwright's starts.
2-2, ground ball. Adams stays with it, and Wainwright to the bag.
No doubt he's helped his own cause with 4 RBIs tonight.
This might be the kind of game where you see Trevor Rosenthal in, and I still believe, if healthy, he can be a huge factor here in the final 11 games after tonight.
What I saw in his outing in San Francisco, I wouldn't be afraid to use him in high leverage situations, but you're absolutely right. It would be a perfect time to have him out there again. And if he throws like he did in San Francisco, then you've got that reliable guy, that you can pitch. I'm not saying he's replacing O, but he bridges the gap to get to O.
No doubt. Jim had a nice visit with O and his interpreter, Eugene Koo, on the pregame show.
He also had a really nice interview with Jason Mott, former Cardinal.
Out to center, going back, Randall Grichuk at the wall, and it's gone. Parra, the home run, his 7th of the year.
With Reynolds out, Parra's getting a chance to see if he can play first base. Pretty good player. Big ballpark, and it's down in the middle of the plate, and looks like it'll be the final pitch for Adam Wainwright tonight. 3rd home run he's allowed. And with Descalzo coming up, who hit a home run his last time up against Adam. We'll see if Mike will, and he will, motion to the bullpen and bring in Keycapper.
Listen to the ovation on the road for Adam Wainwright. Called to the pen, did a nice job last night, 2/3 of an inning. 21st appearance for Dean. Tough on those lefties. He replaces Adam Wainwright, who is now up to 18 RBIs. And that's the most by any pitcher since Bob Gibson in 1970.
We all know Gibby with, he had 24 home runs in his career. Adam, I think, has 8.
Daniel Descalso, one of 3 Rocky home runs hit today. But the 3 home runs were solo shots. Descalso 5 home runs this month, and 5 home runs was his career high before this season.
Now we talked about it, that new Papa, and I believe that's the 3rd home run since he's returned from paternity leave.
And a ground ball slowly hit to Adams. Takes it himself for the out.
I was
2 down.
talking to Keykeeper, Dean, today, and I'd like to see a little more of him. And I know he's been used sporadic, but I think right now, you know, he's starting to show that he can get some lefties out for you and help out in late inning situations. You know, Duke's done a good job. Segrist has done a good job, but you can have that, you know, one guy come in and face a key lefty here and there. I think he can really be helpful to this ball club, and I know they believe he can get the righties out also.
A strike to Tony Walters.
Can't have enough, can you?
No, not at this ballpark. The height of the steroid era, pre-humidor, games would last easily 4 hours.
Oh, minimum.
And just guys hitting rockets everywhere.
And then, you know, like I said, you bring in a starter and he might give up 6, 7 runs, and you'd have to leave him out there because you couldn't go through your bullpen too quick.
Cardullo is at the on-deck circle. The 2-1 pitch. A little bit high, 3-1. Cardinals have out-hit the Rockies 11-7. They lead 9-4. They're now in the 4th. San Francisco and LA scoreless. 3-2. Ground ball hit to Colton Wong. Settles and makes the play. Keykeeper gets a couple of outs. As you might expect, a lot of offense in this game. 18 hits combined, 13 runs. Cardinals have the lead 9-4. Here's Grichuk. Butler in his third inning. Randall, big night. 3 runs scored. A double, a walk, and a single. 1-0 pitch. He'll add to that big night. Out to left, sliding for it, Dahl. Grichuk hustling on his way to second base, and save.
It's his second double tonight. His third hit, 4th time on base. Hazelbaker now will pinch hit for Keykeeper. The Rockies are trying to see if they wanted to challenge this. What a play by Dahl out there. And this ball goes right up against almost the warning track. He slides, cuts it off, gets the ball back in. He's got a pretty good throwing arm, and you can see that it looks like he's safe and no challenge.
And at second is Grichuk. Hazelbaker done a nice job in this role this year.
Waka is warming up for the Cardinals. Be his second appearance since moving to the bullpen.
Base hit into right field. Here comes Grichuk. They'll wave him home, and the throw is not in time. Hazelbaker to second, in there safely.
Hazelbaker has been such a good pinch hitter this year. You know, that's his 11th pinch hit. That leads the club. It's his 9th pinch hit RBI. That's among the leaders. So it's a single, takes second on the throw. Boy, down and in, just right there in his wheelhouse. See him look there to see the high throw, and so he'll take off to go to second.
Randall Grichuk, big night with 4 runs scored. 10-4 St. Louis. Right-hander Justin Miller. It's now a 10-4 St. Louis lead. His 37th appearance. Lefties have hit him at a high clip, 345 this season. And the first man he'll face will be Colton Wong. Base hit by Hazelbaker to score Grichuk to make this 10-4.
And Cardinal pinch hitters had the best average in Major League Baseball at 319 before Hazelbaker. And also they got the 15 home runs and 45th RBI from pinch hitters.
Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run, $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Fastball and a strike to Colton Wong. He's in the leadoff position tonight. Single to center, fly to right, fly to left, and grounded out to second. Here's an 0-1 pitch.
Miller is from Bakersfield, California, 28 years of age.
Oh, 2 pitch to Colton Wong. Ground ball hit to the right side. And Wong is out number 1 here in the 7th. The Giants lose Brandon Crawford tonight. Dislocated left pinky. Did that sliding headfirst into third base in the 2nd inning. And he was out on the play, and now looks like he may miss some time. Who knows how long, but regardless, that is a
big blow.
Oh, man, he is a dynamic player for the Giants.
No doubt. Defensively, really become a good offensive player.
Here's Jed Jerko. Hit his 20th home run since the All-Star break. First Cardinal to do that since Albert Pujols back in 2010.
Hazelbaker over to third, but just the 1 out, so they pull the infield in a 10-4 game.
First pitch to Jed is taken for a strike.
How about the fact the 9th spot in the Cardinal lineup has 5 RBIs tonight?
Not bad. 4 from Wainwright and the other by Hazelbaker. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the walk, a 2-run homer to center, and a double and a run scored. Talked about it earlier. The Giants 29 blown saves. And San Francisco has lost 5 of the 10 games this month in which they've taken a lead into the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Including last night.
How discouraging is that?
You know, at some point, I was talking with somebody about this earlier today, some of the writers. You know, baseball's a game, and I get it, media and fans, we live with every pitch, you know, every loss, every win. Players don't. You know, they let it go for the most part, but this late in the season, those types of losses, I'm not so sure. Jerko pops it up. Shallow center field. Blackman coming on. And he makes the catch. What's on tap? And it is day baseball tomorrow. Luke Weaver. Coverage begins at 1:30 tomorrow. That's our Budweiser. What's on tap?
Marquez is, they say he's got a good fastball, pretty good curveball, and working on a changeup. But one of their young pitchers, I think he's 21 years of age, be his first major league start.
Herman Marquez. 2 outs, runner at third. Here's Piscotty. He's been on base twice. He was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd and a base hit in the 6th. Checks his bat. Make sure it's not cracked. It's not. 371 the average with runners in scoring position.
Third best in the National League. You know, you saw the frustration, you know, with one of the strikeouts, pounding the bat. Maybe on a day that, you know, with a right-hander going tomorrow, maybe give him a day off. Try to give him 2 for 1. You know, it's a real delicate situation. You got to have all these guys, you push them, but yet you still got to kind of watch them and make sure they don't get too hard on themselves.
Inside.
Miller was originally drafted by the Rockies, but he didn't sign. He did sign with Texas. He's had the Tommy John surgery. Came to the Cardinals as come to the Rockies as a minor league free agent.
The 2-2. And a strikeout of Piscotty. Cardinals pick up the RBI by Hazelbaker. 10-4. Time to stretch.
Tickets for a potential wild card and National League Division Series home games will be played in St. Louis or on sale now. Get yours at cardinals.com/postseason. Well, the Cardinals have a 10-4 lead. Michael Wacha will make his second appearance since coming off the disabled list. It's our Chevy call to the bullpen. He pitched in San Francisco and gave up a 3-run home run, but see the lefties, 258 average, 5 home runs. Righties, 293, 8 home runs. Stress reaction for the second time on his shoulder. And you just kind of wonder if that's something that, you know, it's a precursor to a stress fracture. You kind of wonder if, you know, is his future in the bullpen or is it in the rotation?
And that's hit out of play.
Made that relief appearance Wednesday. It's an inning with 3 runs. He's made 6 regular season relief appearances. The last one prior to last Wednesday was back in 2013. As a reliever, he's 1-0, 11 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs, but 21 strikeouts in relief.
Just missed on the inside corner. Talked to Michael the day after that he made that appearance against San Francisco. He said he was very sore, but it was a different type soreness. He said I expected that, but it was good.
It was a good soreness.
Yeah.
Now, that might sound funny to people, but as a pitcher, or you've been off for a while and you go out there and you use those muscles you haven't used for a while, and you want to be sore. You want to be sore in those spots, just because it's normal pitching soreness.
Here's a 1-2. And he was throwing hard that night. 96, a couple of times hit 98.
Well, you don't have to face a guy 3 or 4 times so you can air it out. This is Patterson.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. In the air. Shortstop Jed Jerko backing up. And he's got it. There's one away. Charlie Blackmon, a solo home run back in inning number 5 off of Adam Wainwright. It was home run number 28 for his season. The 10th National League leadoff hitter in history with 28 or more home runs in a season. So a little history. Only 10 have done that. He's a good one. Good numbers both here at Coors Field and on the road as well. Here's a 1-0. Ground ball. Chop to the right side. Wong underhands for the out. Here's a question for you. Do you extend Waka potentially for 2 innings and then let Rosenthal pitch the 9th?
I want to see Rosenthal come into this game. So, it's a question. Do you just have him 1, 2, 3 inning, kind of give him a chance to build his confidence a little bit, use another guy? There's guys down there that could use some work. Or do you, like you say, extend him for a couple innings? But I just think, having Waka, having, Garcia, they're going to go down there and pitch in the right attitude. Understand why they're out of the rotation, and, just makes the bullpen that much deeper.
36 straight games. There's a look at Rosenthal. That LeMahieu has reached base. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but did pick up a walk in inning number 5. Big gap in left center. Fastball again up and in.
Started the night as the highest average in the National League. It's down to 348 now.
Three and 1. Yeah, Michael was saying to me that he just couldn't fully reach out with his pitches, couldn't finish them off, but felt better in that inning.
Yeah, even though he had, he got hit on a 3-run home run.
There's a line drive into right center, all the way to the wall. LeMahieu on his way to second base. Gave up 3 runs in that game against Chicago.
Yeah, and I thought he threw it pretty well. There, the ball up a little bit, and Mayhew makes him pay for it. So he's 1 for 3 and a walk.
Carlos Gonzalez with a double over Grichuk in center back in the 3rd. Popped out to 3rd and also struck out.
I don't know about you, Dan, but before, like Garcia and Waka and Rosenthal have gone down to the bullpen, I thought there was a period of time where Mike was unsure as to who he really felt comfortable bridging the gap between, Duke and Segrist and O. From the starter to those guys. So this can be very helpful. And Broxton's throwing the ball much better now. Bowman's had an outstanding year for a Rule 5 guy. High leverage situations, and pitching in September for the first time.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. Gonzalez, a ground ball. Adams to Walker, a scoreless inning for Michael. Sends us to the 8th. All St. Louis here in game 2. For the wild card, Cardinals, if they can hold on, they would be tied with New York. Day game tomorrow for St. Louis. Matt Carasiti is the new pitcher. It's our Chevy call to the pen.
Tapia is out there in center field. Carasiti's been scored upon in 9 of his first 13 career appearances.
You can see the home plate umpire here, Jim Joyce, is just making sure that Mike Matheny and the official score are up to date with these changes.
This pitcher, Carasiti, had 44 appearances between AA and AAA, 0-2 with 31 saves and an ERA of 1.96. 9 walks, 48 strikeouts. He's an all-star at AA.
I mentioned there's so many Cardinal fans here in attendance. Majority of these fans that have stuck around are in red. Jim Hayes was telling me on the way to the ballpark, wanted me to pass along a note from the Dotem family. He met Mr. and Mrs. Dotem and their son Deke, and they want to say hi to family and friends back home in St. Louis. And that's from the Dotems.
It's not a family reunion, is it?
No, sir. Valeka takes over at second base. Two and two.
CD is from Connecticut.
And that's tapped foul. Two-two pitch to Brandon Moss. Changeup got him.
Third strikeout for Moss, 3 strikeouts for Piscotty. Good location, changeup away. He was a non-roster invitee to spring training.
So Nunez a solo home run for the Giants in the top of the 5th, and it's 1-0 San Francisco.
I like that guy.
Good player. Speed, little power.
Speed, yeah. You see, you know how they scored the first run last night? Nunez got an infield single. He stole second, overthrow, went to third, came home on a wild pitch.
Yachty taps it foul, 0-2. Going to the count on Yadier Molina. 10-4 Cardinals. 3 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 3 more in the fifth. Runs in the 6th and the 7th. 0-2 pitch. Puts it in play. Hit to short. That's out number 2. And it brings in Matt Adams. Adams with a home run here tonight. Solo shot back in inning number 2. He has walked a couple of times, 2 runs scored.
Got the Cardinals on the scoreboard.
Tell you what, that's a good look for that guy in the front row.
A Dr. Seuss hat?
Yep. In the air to left field. Catch is made, and that sends us to the bottom of the 8th. 10-4 St. Louis. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who go the extra mile. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Elitch Gardens Amusement Park. And the first pitch by Wacha is a strike to Nolan Arenado. The Kubota power stats. Arenado has put up big numbers. Leads the league in home runs and RBIs.
Yeah, back-to-back seasons, 30-plus home runs. Leads the National League with 38 this year. And we may be catching him at the right time. They're saying he's a little tired right now.
0-2 in the dirt. Second inning of work for Michael Wacha. Two swung on and missed. So Michael Wacha has come out of the bullpen and he looks sharp.
Yeah, you get that downward plane, and really, the changeup has always been a big pitch for him. I thought at times that he's gotten away from it. When he first came up, he was a two-pitch pitcher and was brilliant, particularly in postseason 2013. And he perfected the curveball and cutter and got away from the changeup. He's 6'6", so it should be easy for him to throw on a downward plane.
David Dahl is 1 for 3. Slaps it the other way and a base hit. The Cardinals in 2011, it's been talked about a lot with the Kansas City Royals and their great run here recently. Back-to-back appearances in the World Series, how they could shorten games. Well, if you get Rosenthal and Wacha pitching like they can, Cardinals certainly could shorten a lot of games.
It's just can't have enough good arms. And like you say, it'd be great to have guys that, like yesterday, O had the day off.
Could be 2. It is 2. Double play. Sends us to the 9th, and it's 10-4 St. Louis. takes us to Jason Mott, former Cardinals closer, Chicago last year, and now with the Colorado Rockies. Watching him down on the field last couple of days, visiting with old friends. Mott has been good against the Cardinals. 5 2/3. He's given up just 1 earned run.
He's had a tough season twice. He's been on the disabled list. Started the season on the DL with a right shoulder strain. Then he just came back on July 27th. He was placed on the disabled list with a right rotator cuff strain and just activated. Made his first appearance since July 25th on September 13th.
He's only given up 4 hits against the Cardinals. 2 of the 4 by Peralta and Grichuk. Both are coming up. 1-0 pitch. Back to Mott. Fun guy to be around. Great story. Former catcher turned into a pitcher. Worked as a setup man for a few years, then thrust into the closer's role of 2011 and picked up the final out of the 2011 World Series.
Remember in 2012 he led the National League in saves with the Cardinals at 42. Last year with Chicago, his first year with Colorado.
Jim had the chance to visit with Jason as Grichuk fouls it back, and he has a son now, and he named him Suter.
Yeah, I was listening to that. Said he and Bruce Suter have become very close friends and thinks so highly of him to name his son after him, the Hall of Famer.
That might be the highest compliment someone can give you.
Yeah, I think, Bruce, normal, very shy almost, and was very touched by that.
Tommy Pham at the on-deck circle. Christian Adames is taken over at third base for Arenado. It's been really a disappointing year, though, for Mott just because of the injuries.
Yeah. He did sign a 2-year contract, so hopefully he can get the injury bug over with this year and then have free sailing next year and try and get a next contract.
Grichuk, a big night. 4 runs scored, 3 hits and a walk.
64th RBI also, to average up to 246.
Strikeout of Grichuk. It brings in Tommy Pham.
Like I said, this 9th spot in the Cardinal order has been pretty productive. Wainwright had a sacrifice, 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Then Hazelbaker pinch hit. He had a base hit RBI, and now Tommy Pham will get a shot.
Up the middle and a base hit for Tommy Pham. So again, another pinch hitter for the Cardinals reaching.
Cardinals started action day with the best average among pinch hitters in all of baseball. Rockies are second. But here's the second pinch hit, base hit by a pinch hitter today. They got 15 home runs, 45 RBIs, and an average over 320.
Jason Mott and Bruce Sutter became very close when Bruce came back to throw out a ceremonial first pitch, and then also they forged a friendship in spring training when the Hall of Famers come back. So that's how they were introduced. And then a long talk before one of the games in postseason about closing, the mentality of it. They even talked about split finger potentially for Jason Mott. He has toyed with it, but he's pretty much just a two-pitch pitcher. You get the cutter and also the very good fastball.
And Dan, in my mind, some people think the splitter can kind of hurt your arm. I never thought that, but while you're learning that pitch, it becomes an effective changeup.
Fouled back just below us.
I noticed what Mott does here, and I've never seen him really do this, but he flip the ball, and if you stand there on the rubber, guys on base and everything, it's balk.
If he would drop it, it is a balk.
Yeah. Right, just there. Don't catch it.
1-2 pitch inside.
You remember him doing that?
No.
He's been doing it every pitch, and really you kind of notice he doesn't really look at it. He is there, but
foul ball. Derek Lilliquist was the one that had to tell Jason Mott, your days as a catcher are over. Derek was in the minor leagues. Now the current Cardinals pitching coach pulled him in the office and talked to him about his future. You're done as a hitter. You're done as a catcher. Mott wanted to give it another shot. They said, no, we're converting you to a pitcher. And he made a rapid rise through the minor leagues.
I think he ought to be very thankful now, right?
No question.
And we think the umpire told him and warned him about flipping that ball.
Also maybe giving Wong a little time after that foul ball. Pulled foul. Two and two the count. We're in the top of the ninth. 10-4 St. Louis. The guy behind home plate, I think, has decided to switch his unique caps.
What is this one? Is it a bird hat?
I think it might be. Three-two. It's sharply to first. A 6-run lead as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Broadcast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Chevy called the bullpen as Trevor Rosenthal be his second appearance since July the 24th. Went on the disabled list. His first one was in San Francisco. Blew away the first two hitters, then threw a cutter, got a ground ball to shortstop, and looked very free and easy and looked like the guy that had 48 saves a year ago.
First pitch is hit the other way for a base hit off the bat of Descalso. He's also homered here tonight.
It's 3 for 4.
So the Cardinals are 3 outs away from pulling even with the Mets in the wild card race. The Cardinals 3 outs away from win number 4 in a row. Think about how this road trip started. You lose the first 2 games. You're thinking, uh-oh, Cardinals could get buried on the road, and now a chance to win 4 straight and look for a sweep tomorrow afternoon. Hit the other way again and drops in for a base hit. First 2 have reached.
Velocity down a little bit. I mean, it's 95, but you saw him throwing 97, 98 in San Francisco. One of the things you want to make sure you see the control, though. Patterson's second plate appearance, looking for his first major league hit.
Cardinals have turned a double play here tonight. Here's an 0-1 pitch. Now it's 0-2.
Patterson is 0 for 3, playing in his 5th game.
Oh-2 pitch. Out to center. Going back with room. Plenty of it. Grichuk makes the catch. Runner from second will tag. That's Descalso to third. So Tapia, who came in for Blackman, pinch hits, or stays in the game rather, to hit for the first time.
There's another young man that started at Double-A and also played at Triple-A this year. Double-A All-Star. He's been able to, he's a hitter. He's hit above 300 in every minor league stop in his career, and that's covering 6 seasons.
And a base hit into right field. Run scores Descalso. That makes it a 10-5 St. Louis lead. 3 hits in the inning off of Rosenthal.
3 left-handed bats with hits. Watch the throw come in. Guy got his left arm.
You can see that Garcia's back was to him, so
yeah.
Lucky that ball didn't get away. Valleca at the plate. You know, the last thing that Mike Matheny wants to do is take Trevor Rosenthal out of a game.
Oh, absolutely.
He wants him to have the handshakes and the high fives after that third and final out if we get there.
There's another kid that started at AA before going to AAA this year. Another AA All-Star. They must have had a pretty good team at AA. He's out of UCLA. 9th round 2013 draft for the Rockies.
1-2. Popped up to the right side. Adams is over with room. Yes. Makes the catch. Let's turn to tonight's player of the game. A presentation of Budweiser. The real key here, outside of the 5 1/3, but the 4 driven in by Wainwright at the plate tonight.
Yeah, just unbelievable now. 18 RBIs on the year. He's going to pick up his 12th victory. And in his starts this year, it'd be the 20th victory for the Cardinals. There's 1 out to go.
Two outs and 2 on. Line to third, and the Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of this series. 4 in a row. They're now tied with the Mets in the wild card race.
Really good, hard-fought victory here. Saw an awful lot of offense. Great pitching from the Cardinals, and I'm talking about Wainwright and what a job he did as an offensive player with his 4 RBIs. And there you see, sitting on top of the wild card race right now with the Mets.
On to the post-game show. Big night for Randall Grichuk as well. 10-5 the final here in game 2.